Happy New Year, my heroes, my villains, and everybody in between. Sean Ross here, and welcome back, guys, to another live reaction to My Hero Academia, the first of 2022. And to help ring in the new year, I have gotten myself a haircut, and I've also brought back my party on glasses. 2021 was a great year for My Hero, but I am just looking forward to what Horikoshi has in store for us in 2022. So, to kick off the new year, we are diving into manga chapter number 339, entitled The Story of How We All Became Heroes, Part 2.
Regarding your costume improvements, head to the development studio here. Get the experts to help you out and give suggestions. They'll know what to do.
My friends and I are working hard toward a shared goal, facing every challenge that comes our way, and saving people with a smile. We're training to become the world's greatest heroes.
If that's the case, leave it to me. Call on Mei Hatsume in the support course.
And I am looking forward to what is going to be happening in this chapter, because we are coming off of seeing Deku and Iida making their way down to the development studio to repair their costumes. But as soon as they arrived, deja vu kicked in as the door exploded right in front of Deku, sending him flying back. And as the smoke cleared, Deku found himself reunited with Mei Hatsume yet again, but this time he got an even better look at her as he found himself nose deep in between her babies.
You motorboating son of a bitch, you old sailor, you.
So I think it is safe to say that Horikoshi ended off 2021 with a bang, pun intended. But besides the fan service, I am just glad to finally have Mei Hatsume back in the story again. And going into this chapter, I'm looking forward to seeing her interacting with Deku and Iida and seeing what she can do for their costumes. So, mount ladies and gentle criminals, without further ado, let's dive right into chapter 339.
The support course specializes in creating equipment that helps heroes deal with their quirks and enhance their skills. My chance to show off is finally here! Now take a look, the biggest plan ever! Time for baby to take the spotlight! So to any support companies out there looking for strong new recruits, the choice is clear! You want me! Mei Hatsume! That's H-A-T-S-U-M-E! Support Course Prodigy!
And kicking this chapter off, we have a full-page panel shot of Mei Hatsume right here, lying on the ground with a big smile upon her face, with what looks like a new flying device she has created. We can see the bird-like goggles she has on her head, and then the mechanical wings strapped to her back with the numbers 1, 2, and 3 on the mechanical feathers.
Hello there.
Wait a minute. Could this possibly be a new baby Hatsume is working on for Hawks? Because we know Hawks' wings haven't been growing back, and I don't know if they ever will. But I would love if we went down the Archangel route and had Mei Hatsume create these mechanical wings for Hawks.
Really makes you think.
I would love for that to be the case. And if anyone was able to get Hawks flying again, it would be Mei Hatsume. So this right here is just a great start to this chapter.
Hey, when did you get here?
And picking up right where we left off, we can see Mei Hatsume picking herself up off of the ground and greeting both Deku and Iida.
Oh, sorry about the sudden explosion. It's been a while, huh? Class 1A, right? Yeah, I forgot all your names already.
How's it hanging? And what can I do for you two? My danger sense didn't activate. I was caught off guard.
My spider senses are starting to tingle.
He's right. Danger sense didn't alert him at all that that explosion was incoming because there was no malice being directed towards him in that moment. But Deku should be glad it didn't activate because it allowed for him to get a face full of Hatsume's boobs.
Snap out of it. What, a hot older woman made you feel her cans? Stop crying like a little girl.
But we can see Deku just stanced up at the ready with these doom sound effects surrounding him as Iida turns and says, "Caught unawares by the bosom." And we just see Iida immediately turn his attention back towards Mei. "Hatsume, we have come to you today to request costume repairs."
Development request?
And then we just see Hatsume tilt her head with a question mark and say, "Why not put in a request to the item agency like usual?"
What kind of question is that?
And then we see Iida doing the exact same thing, tilting his head with a question mark. The agencies are, well, there's been disruption to the typical exchange of goods and services these days. We now need to rely on the support course. You don't say. Well, that makes sense. And we just have this wow sound effect as we see this gigantic smile come over Mei Hatsume. What? But Iida is just looking at her like, huh? What's going on? And Hatsume's like,
You what?
And off to the side, we just see Deku snapping out of it and saying, "Don't tell me, is she clueless about the state of the world?" Yo, no way.
Do you ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
I've packed a ton of powerful babies to bring with me, so I'm sure you'll find something you like floating around my arsenal.
Hatsume, you almost blew up the entire design studio. Will you please open your ears and listen to me for once?
Brilliant. I have absolutely no idea what's going on.
So you're telling me that Hatsume has been so cooped up within the development studio working on her babies that she has no idea what has been going on outside of UA the entire time?
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
I would say I'm shocked, but I can honestly see that being the case with Hatsume right here, because we know how focused and tunnel vision she can get when she is working on her babies. So she might be completely unaware of what is going on, but as she is standing there with that dumb look on her face, we can see within the development studio, the man himself, Support Force Studio Overseer Power Loader, making his way through the smoke. Hatsume, I swear, what is it with you and explosions? Costume repairs? Come on in.
I heard from Eraserhead you're here to upgrade those costumes, yes? Come in.
Wow, this looks like a top secret lab.
This is my lab. And this is my laboratory!
Wow, it looks so professional.
Yo! And it looks like the development studio has gotten a hell of a lot bigger and messier since the last time we were here. Because as Deku and Iida enter the studio, all they can see are support items, tools, and scraps littering the floor, and then upon the wall are these gigantic schematics for the UA barrier. And Iida, looking around, just says, "Things are a bit different here." And Power Loader just says, "I'm in charge of R&D for the UA barrier. Maintenance too, once each part is up and running."
I see.
And wasting no time at all, we have Deku showing Hatsume his damaged gauntlets.
A glove?
As far as names go, I was thinking full gauntlet.
Mid-gauntlets, the latest in compression tech. These were prototypes from overseas, so I can't restock. Think you could fix them for me? And we see Deku compressing the gauntlets back down into their wristband form, and we see Hatsume holding onto it and looking it over as she asks, "Is this a rush job?" And with a serious look on his face, Deku just says, "You bet it is."
Nope.
No can do. Sorry.
You what?
And that right there is not the answer that Deku wanted to hear. But Hatsume is just being as blunt and as honest as she can be. With that level of damage, I need to remake them basically from scratch. And we lack the Condennium for the compression mechanism. So, no can do. Again, sorry. And we can just see Hatsume briskly walking away from Deku as she is saying this. And Deku is just shocked, watching her walk away as he says, walking away at the speed of nope. And chiming in, we have Iida asking, Hatsume, what about my armor?
Nope.
Without the spec docs, no can do. And Hatsume just walks away from Iida as well, as he says, how frank.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please.
I'm busy developing new babies, so bye!
Oh, wait a second, please!
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
But with Hatsume leaving, we can see two other support corps students come over to Deku and Iida. Don't sweat it. We can make what you need. We're in Hatsume's class. Thank you. We're in your debt. How curious, though. Hatsume takes to tinkering like a fish to water, so I assumed she would offer us aid. And we can just see Hatsume taking a seat at her workstation, as we can see her just typing away at a computer right now.
Hey!
And Deku just walks up behind her and asks, what are you working on?
Look!
The evac shelter blocks? They're blasting off. Cool. Okay, now that makes sense why Hatsume isn't helping Deku and Iida right now. She has been assisting Power Loader on working on the UA barrier and the evacuation shelters. I enlisted Hatsume to help improve our defenses. She's busy concocting new mechanisms in case of mass evacuation. Like I alluded to before, her zeal and inventive mind put her in a league of her own. Yo. And we can see Deku is thinking back to the events of chapter 101 right here, and remembering the words from Power Loader when he told everyone how amazing of a support corps student Hatsume is.
That pile of junk? Those are all the support items Hatsume's made since starting school here. She's always inventing, even when school's not in session. I've seen many support corps students in my career, but I tell you, this girl is something special. If you all are aspiring to be heroes, then you should treasure your relationship with her. You'll need her once you've been made pros.
Even a perfect A+ idea could drop to an A- in a flash. When I think up a new baby, I gotta raise it right. That's some wisdom from me. Hatsume's words of wisdom. The more you know, according to Mei Hatsume. I get it. No wonder you're paying no mind to the outside world. You're laser focused on your beloved inventions. You're pretty amazing, Hatsume. Don't be dense, Midoriya. As dense as high-density polyethylene.
What did you say? Boom. Roasted.
Yo! Hatsume roasting Deku right now with that engineering sass of hers. Excuse me? I don't get it. And of course Deku has no idea what Hatsume just said to him.
Listen!
Of course I'm aware of the nasty predicament you heroes are facing out there. We may not be fighters, but just like how you guys are trying every trick in the book to protect as many people as possible, we're tackling it in our own way. Inventing stuff is how the support course does heroics.
The support course specializes in creating equipment that helps heroes deal with their quirks and enhance their skills. I packed a ton of powerful babies to bring with me, so I'm sure you'll find something you like floating around my arsenal.
That girl is unafraid of failure, constantly thinking of new ideas and trying them out. If you all are aspiring to be heroes, then you should treasure your relationship with her. You'll need her once you've been made pros.
If that's the case, leave it to me. Call on Mei Hatsume in the support course.
Yo. First of all, Hatsume looks beautiful on this full-page panel shot as she is just turning around to look at Deku. Absolutely gorgeous. But second, I love what she just said right here, because unlike Deku and Iida, Hatsume isn't a fighter and isn't out on the front line saving people alongside them. But through her support items, when they are being used by Deku and Iida, it's like she is out there with them saving those people, which is why she's just so obsessed in perfecting her babies, because the better they are, then more people will most likely be saved when heroes like Deku and Iida are using her support items. And that is how the support course does their heroics. Wow, Hatsume. Yo. And before Deku could complete that compliment, we just see Hatsume fling something behind her back and it just hits Deku right in his face, and it just caves in due to the impact.
Oh, is he gonna feel that tomorrow or what? God, right in his beak.
Okay, well, I deserve that.
I couldn't replicate them exactly. My babies might not be the latest and greatest, but please put them to work for you.
Behold.
And it looks like Hatsume was able to create a version of the mid-gauntlets for Deku after all. Gloves included? Neat. Did your left hand alone just whip these up? Thanks so much. Yo, that explains what she was doing when she sat down at her workstation. She was using both of her hands to build stuff, but the right hand was the one tapping away at the computer while the left was building the gauntlets for Deku.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
That right there is multitasking at its finest.
Watch out!
And this is no perfect replica of your armor, Iida, but enjoy. Hooray! Thank you kindly. And we just see Hatsume throwing Iida's armor at him, and just like with Deku's face, Iida's caves in as it gets hit with the armor.
Nope.
And we can just see the other two support corps students standing there like, oh, well, I guess we don't have to do anything now. We were just about to take their measurements. And we just see Hatsume continuing to tinker away as she says, please give your Hero Course pals a message.
Victory
Let's win this.
is my destiny.
Yo, that right there is some nice words of encouragement coming from Hatsume right there. And we can just see Deku and Iida nodding in agreement. But my god, looking at these two right here with their faces just caved in, I gotta be honest, their faces look like buttholes right here.
Dude, check it out. This is the sweetest thing I've ever done. Look at how the crack is centered right in the middle.
Hopefully their faces will pop back to normal and they won't be stuck like that moving forward. But from that, it looks like we are heading outside to see Class 1A waiting on both Deku and Iida. And we got Sero saying, that didn't take long, you two. Good thing. We're all prepped and ready. Just in time then. Thank goodness. Faces ain't supposed to stick that way, yeah? That's exactly what I have been saying, Sero. But now my main question is, how did Deku and Iida make it outside with their faces caved in like that? Because they shouldn't be able to see where they are going at all.
I can't see shit.
But now that Deku and Iida are here, we have Mount Lady saying, I've heard about what Class A has been through, but sadly, we can't afford to waste a single day at this point. Our best case scenario is still finding and mopping up the Liberation Front and the League of Villains as soon as possible. That would solve this whole mess. So we're not abandoning the original plan altogether. And standing around all dazed and confused is just playing into our enemy's hands.
Hey!
And then we cut over to Ashido, who is muttering to Koda saying, Aoyama, think he'll take that hand we offered? And we got Deku saying, I have faith that Aoyama will come back to us. And we can finally see Deku's face pop back to normal. Deku no longer has that butthole of a face. And then we got Bakugo saying, assuming he ain't whammied by some kind of curse. And then Shoto says, I think it'll be fine, because he has always had his sights set on the man he wants to be, more than any of us.
Something you said earlier inspired me. Listen! You can become a hero! I always wanted to be an equal to the amazing people at our school.
I'll have to watch your actions to see if you earn that. Because I know something small can change a person if they want it to. Become the hero he wanted you to be!
It's nice to see that Class 1A does have faith that Aoyama will accept the helping hand that they offered him and will help them to take down All For One. But whether or not that's actually going to happen and how long that takes, we're just going to have to wait and see. Okay, people, let's move. Midoriya is at the center of this operation. Class 1A of UA's Hero Course. Search Squad, Assemble! And on that note, we can see Danger Sense activating for Deku right now. He is searching the area, trying to figure out who's in danger, where they should go first, and Deku is going to be having Class 1A backing him up, moving forward.
My spider senses are starting to tingle.
But with that, it looks like we are transitioning away from Deku and Class 1A. Meanwhile, in the Kansai region...
We've got idiots fighting non-stop on the streets these days. Solid work out there.
Hey! We did it! Are you alright? I'm a Jiki. Just think everyone's a potato.
Oh no, their bodies are still human, Hado. And the potato trick isn't working. I want to go home.
Yo! Finally! We are finally getting reunited with the squad. We can see Fat Gum, Sun Eater, and Nejire, who is currently sporting a shorter hairstyle. Yo, I am liking the short hair on Nejire.
My hair!
And it makes sense too because her hair got burned when she went up against Dabi at the end of the war arc. Wow. She looks really cute with the shorter hair, and I am all here for it. But it looks like they were able to subdue some blob-like villain and saved some civilians. We got Nejire saying, "Anyone hurt Sun Eater?" And we can see those 2 civilians they saved crying and trying to hug Sun Eater, but he's not having it in this moment. He's like, "Get me away from these people." Nejire, thank you all so much. Hard to believe those dang villains started tossing their weight around out here in the boonies. Well, you folks can rest easy now. We'll get you on over to Shiketsu High. It's a real sturdy fortress, solid as UA even. Thank you, young man. Can you at least show us your face?
Nope.
No thanks. And Nejire is just watching as the civilian is trying to tear the cape off of Amajiki, and he is just not willing to reveal his face to these people. He's like, "Nope, get me out of here." And apparently Ryukyu is here as well. I'm curious how she healed up considering Shigaraki punched a hole through her hands. But she seems to be doing all right. But fewer people means much less intel. We're in a tight spot. You know what this means. Gone are the days of slinging sneak attacks and raids at each other. Now, it's the opposite. Both sides are pulling out all the stops, gearing up for a true blue, all-out war on every front.
Everything is proceeding as I have foreseen.
I hope you're celebrating while you can, All Might, because very soon, this temporary peace will come to a violent end.
This could be a supersized problem.
And Fat Gum isn't wrong, because leading up to this point, it's just been the buildup, the prelude to the all-out war that is about to break out. And from that shot of the UA barrier, it looks like we are transitioning to Central Hospital right now, where we can see All Might and Hawks, who I'm presuming they are currently talking with Aizawa right now. So, about our plan B, let's review the key info about the other battle that could decide it all. Ooh. What other battle is All Might talking about right here? I'm very curious to find out. But that right there is the end of the chapter. Next chapter hits January 16th.
I understand your twisted plan very well. I'll smash your plans and thwart your plots. I am relentless.
X Day will be here soon. Until then, I'll gather intel and learn everything about the Liberation War.
I'm sorry. I couldn't figure everything out. But I'm sure they're hiding in the shadows, waiting to strike again. We'll keep investigating this together.
solid start for MHA with its first chapter of 2022. And this was mainly a setup chapter that allowed Deku and Iida to repair aspects of their costumes before they regrouped with Class 1A to go out on patrol. And I am very much looking forward to seeing Deku working alongside his classmates and to see Class 1A following Deku's lead. But the other aspect I really enjoyed about this chapter was just having Mei Hatsume back in the story again, seeing her interacting with Deku and Iida, and having her state how the support heroes can still be heroic with the support items that they create. Loved getting that from Hatsume. But then, near the end of the chapter, I just loved getting to see Fat Gum, Sun Eater, Ryukyu, and Nejire again. And then with this ending, with us presumably going to Central Hospital, as we see All Might and Hawks most likely talking with Aizawa about this other battle that they need to prep for, I'm curious on what this other battle is and how they plan around this other battle as we move forward. So with that, guys, that right there is my live reaction to chapter 339 of My Hero Academia. But for now, I definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts on the events of this chapter. What do you guys think about the chapter overall and the interactions between Hatsume, Deku, and Iida? And what do you guys think about getting to see Nejire's short new hairstyle? And then with the ending, what is this other battle that All Might is trying to plan for? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below, and feel free to subscribe to the channel and click that bell icon that you guys can be alerted for every new MHA reaction that pops up on the channel. But if you guys want to talk about other things or talk about MHA outside of YouTube, feel free to also follow me over on Twitter. A link to my Twitter account can also be found in the description down below. But that's going to do it from here, guys. So until next week, we have chapter 340 of My Hero Academia. I'll talk to you guys next time. But remember, go beyond plus Ultra!